Okay, so all right. First off, disclaimer. I guess I need to put this for the next this video and the next one I'm gonna do too. Is that usually when I do a video like this, I have a response to like somebody will ask me a question within the last 24 hours along this lines of this video. Then usually somebody pipes in and be like, "Oh, that video is because of me." Nah, stop taking credit for my videos, guys. Just because you fall into that category of one of the people who fit this description here doesn't mean you are the sole reason. Usually, when I tell a story, and it's because of one person, I'll be specific, and even if I don't give a name, I will say this guy. You know, so that means that person is the reason I'm talking about that in that video, or the reason why I'm making that video. In this case, this, like the other video I want to talk about this in, is something that's happened a lot. A lot of questions have been asked like along these lines, and I've talked about this a bunch of times, and now it's to the point where videos getting made because of it. All right, recently today I got a message asking about, you know, the valve springs, the keepers. You know, like how do I reinstall them? I'm like, of course, the first thing on my mind is like, how the fuck did you uninstall them? Like, how'd you take them out? Put them back in the same way you took them out. That's generally speaking the obvious answer. But what happens is a lot of people get impatient and they just, oh, well, I can take these out. That's easy. And they just whack the keepers out. You know, there's all a bunch of ways that you can put it down and smack it to suddenly pop them out. You know, things are easy to take apart like that. Yeah. You know, even though you could possibly damage your shit. But you can't put it back together like that. So your temporary win over removing the valve springs that way is fucked because you cannot reinstall them like that. You know, if you do something that quickly releases them, how the fuck are you going to put these tiny little shells back in place with your fingers? It's impossible. You can't do it. You need a valve spring compressor tool to remove and install these, guys. If you remove them without your valve spring compressor tool, then what good does that do you? Unless you're planning on selling that head bare and you're selling those the valve springs or whatever, the rest of it separate, then it does absolutely nothing for you. If you were going to do valve seals on your head, and you do it the right way and buy a valve spring compressor tool. Now, I know in my head video, I did the teardown, I didn't do the reassembly, but it's very clear how you do the reassembly. You literally do it the exact same way you took them apart. Now, there are other tool options I listed in that video. You can go see. There's the one where you can bolt to the head and screw it down, and you can do it like that. Or you can do the one where it's on the slide rail, you bolt it to the head, and you pull the lever down. And there's the one that I actually used in the video. It was a generic tool, like 15 bucks, I think, maybe even less, that you go to the auto parts store and buy. Now, it's a little bit of a pain in the ass to use for Honda heads, but all you got to do is, like I showed you in the video, shave down some parts of the tool, and it becomes very easy to use. So you can go to the store, literally down the street from you, at any auto parts, and buy this tool. That all you gotta do is make a couple of quick cuts on it to make it fit properly in your head that you're gonna take apart, and that saves you all the trouble in the world. So your temporary genius idea of popping these keepers out using a hammer or whatnot is not gonna help you when it comes to putting it back together. So guys, you need to stop doing that shit. If you're planning on putting new valve seals or whatnot, buy the fucking tool. Cheers. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.